Hello there, and welcome to the Gilethem Project. Many a fantasy world is usually constructed bottom-up. The author has an interesting idea for a setting, for example, a kingdom, sets out how the area works and slowly expands from there. While this is usually a fine way of construction, it can in the end lack historical depth and realistic layering. This can lead to kingdoms feeling eternal and static instead of being part of a living, breathing world. Now, for the average consumer, this probably won't be a problem, but let's set out to construct a world with a long history, with the rise and fall of civilizations, and an organic evolution of society. In this video series, I would like to take you through my progress. While for your own project you can take and leave whatever you want, I will be constructing my world, albeit a fantasy setting, using 3 core principles. Principle 1. Scientific reasoning as a foundation. Where I can, I'll be using science to build my world in a realistic way. No mere, a wizard did it, but actual, natural groundworks. Now, it will be a fantasy setting with magic. This means it won't be 100% accurate, and I will be taking certain liberties for world building purposes. 2. Earth history. We will be taking inspiration from our own history. History often repeats itself, which means that many things that happen in our world multiple times are likely to happen in our fantasy setting as well. Historical concepts will be the basis of the evolutionary paths of our societies. 3. Fantasy. The world I'm building should be a recognizable fantasy setting, usable in the likes of a book, video games, or a tabletop RPG. This means that for this project, we will be seeing elves, dwarves, and orcs, and other common fantasy tropes might be taken into account for making certain decisions, albeit with a twist. There are many systems to keep track of your world building. For example, there are online tools like Campfire and World Anvil that are specifically designed to help you keep track of everything you build. On the other hand, you can create your own system, whichever helps you keep track. For this project, I have opted to write an in-world encyclopedia, named the Pocket Guide to Gilethem. The advantage of this system is that, just like real-world atlases and history books, the information found could be unclear, untrue, or contradictory. This gives us room to be able to change things later on without immediately retconning them or using certain events through a different historical eye. Throughout the project, the Pocket Guide will be quoted as if using it as a scientific source, while explaining the real-life inspiration behind the events. This approach is called the unreliable narrator. But before we can actually start building a history, we first need a place for that history to take place. In our first episode, we will be creating the world itself, building up a solar system, and creating a map for our planet. After that, we'll be taking a look of constructing a basis of religion and a magic system. All these systems will be important to know before we can even start making societies, for this will influence their evolution. I hope to see you there.